Well, the far left in Congress may be getting rich, but their progressive policies may just cost the Democrats the midterms.
Karl Rove explains it like this. Bashing Trump and pandering to the kooky left is hardly a winning formula. And he joins us now. Karl, typically, we've got Karl. So right now, the Democrats are up by about 5 points in the Real Clear Politics generic ballot. What signs are you looking for if this is just a ripple for the Democrats this election cycle or potentially a wave?
Well, we're a long way away from the fall election, but this is not a good place for the Republicans to be. The Democrats need to be 3 or 4 points ahead of the Republicans in order to break even. That's given the nature of the districts. There are a lot more Democratic districts that are 80% or 85% or 90% Democrat than there are similar Republican districts. But this would point towards a Democrat victory this fall. What really matters is we got plenty of time to go. The winner is going to be whoever has the best messaging as we come down the end, but you need to be laying the predicate for it today, and that's where my concern is. The Republicans have got to underpromise and overdeliver. They've got to be empathetic with the fact that there are a great many people, particularly blue-collar, working-class families, that don't feel good about the economy. For example, the Republican advantage among working class people with no college degree, white, is 10 points. That ain't good enough. We're 34 points in the last presidential election. So we've got to do better at the messaging, and that there's a lot of work to be done there.
Now, you point out there are some pitfalls for Democrats, Karl, because there's some things they love to do that you're saying you can't do that all the time, like bashing President Trump. Do you think they're going to, or impeaching him, right? That's another one of their favorites. Okay, so do you think they're going to be able to stay away from those ditches, or is it just like, a fly to a light? You just can't help yourself. You got to fly right into it, and you end up getting zapped.
Well, it sort of looks like that you described it well. They're drawn to these practices. I'd add a third one that's even more important, which is in battleground districts, they would nominate somebody who might be comfortable in the city of New York, namely like the new mayor, but are not going to sell in purple districts or red-leaning districts. Remember, the Democrats have to take away seats that are in areas that Donald Trump won, and nominating somebody on the far left is not going to help them in the fall. We saw it in Tennessee. They nominated a candidate from the most liberal part of Nashville, and she fell flat. Now, she ran better than a normal Democrat did, but they could have won this seat in Tennessee potentially if they had a centrist Democrat who didn't alienate a lot of people. When you say, in essence, I hate capitalism and I hate America and I hate Donald Trump, that's not a winning threesome for the Democrats.
Well, and Republicans aren't going to have President Trump on the ballot as well like they did in 2024, driving turnout. But, Karl, I wanted to ask you about redistricting, because we've seen historic mid-decade redistricting in states like Texas and California. We still have a Supreme Court ruling looming as well. What role will redistricting play in shaping the midterms?
Well, it will play a role. Like in Texas, there are 5 new districts. I don't think the Republicans will take all 5. In fact, I think we'll be fortunate to take 3, pick up 3 seats. California, we have yet to obviously to see how that plays out, but it looks like the Democrats could pick up 5 seats there. We'll pick up a seat in Ohio, or maybe 2. The Democrats will pick up a seat in Utah. At the end of the day, I think this is going to be a slight Democrat advantage. That is to say, they're going to pick up 1 or 2 more seats net than Republicans will. But remember, it's not finished yet. Florida has got to decide what it's going to do. Virginia is still figuring out if it can do what the Democrats want to do, which is kill 3 Republican seats and make it a 10-1 state, 10 Democrat members of Congress, 1 Republican. But right now, today, the advantage is a slight Democrat advantage, which is not what the Republicans thought when they started this whole practice.
Karl, real quick, you talk about the perils of the abolish ICE plank for Democrats. We're staring down the barrel of another shutdown potentially in just a few days. How do you think this kind of next deadline for DHS funding plays in potentially to the midterms?
Well, I think, abolish ICE is about as toxic as defund the police. And if the Democrats shut down the government because they are asking for things that the ordinary people think are unreasonable, then they're creating a problem for themselves. We'll see how it all plays out, but abolish ICE and the rhetoric from the hard left of the Democratic Party is going to infect the entire campaign. Ordinary candidates in purple or red places are going to have to answer for people who are in deep blue places like San Francisco or New York City or Boston, and that's going to be unpleasant for a lot of Democrats who are trying to climb their way to the center.
Still have a lot of time to go. Karl Rove, appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thank you.